Welcome to the Crypto Bus Agent channel. We are going live a little bit later than, about a day later, but next week we'll get back on schedule Saturdays and Mondays, 7 p.m. Central Time. If you guys were in my Telegram group, you would have known that I was going live today versus yesterday. So join the Telegram group. It is free to join. Let me just go live on TikTok. I'm still looking for more downside on... Hold on, let me just set this really quick. Let me make sure. Sound testing. If you guys can't hear me, if we have anyone watching, let me know as well. Looks like we don't. That's okay. I think I shared it, but it is a different day, so maybe we won't get the same crowd. That's kind of to be expected. That's why I don't like doing this. But it is. Sometimes I don't have a choice because other things come up, like friends coming into town. So, anyways, let's just get into the markets, and if we don't get any viewers, then it'll be a quick stream, but people can rewatch this later. I'll just give a quick synopsis of where I see the market going, and then go from there. So here, a little bit of an update in my trading journey, if you will. I was trying to day trade this market for a long time, and I've thought about doing this strategy for a long time. Now I'm very committed to doing this strategy, and the strategy is pretty simple, except instead of trading the 1 minute time frame, I'm going to be trading the 15-minute time frame and being like swing trades. So I entered a swing trade early this morning on the 15-minute chart based on the factor below the thick yellow line, which is the 200 smooth moving average. I probably should go over to the chart that I did it on. And I got into the trade at $32.20, right around here. Then you pumped all the way back up. My stop loss was where this thick yellow line is at, which is the 200 smooth moving average. And right now my stop is $3,500. And as this yellow line keeps coming down, if we keep going down price, I'll basically have a trailing stop loss. I have a trailing stop loss of 9%, and if this yellow line is less than 9%, then I'll manually adjust my stop loss likewise. But otherwise, that's kind of what I've got going on. That way, if we get a massive dump and then a pump back up of over 9%, I'll get stopped out, hopefully in profits. But that's what we got going on right now. So right now my stop loss is around just under $3,500. So to me that's okay. And we are making new lows on Ethereum as we speak. Where do I see the market going? I will go over. We're going to start at the Fear and Greed Index and go from there. But that is the current trade I'm in. Currently up a little bit of money. I did low leverage like 8x, but I put $300 into the trade. So we'll see what happens. So I basically will be just swing trading Ethereum. And if you have taken this this theory, you have entered this short up here at 39.60 on Ethereum, and you have never been stopped out because the price never went above this thick yellow line. So that's the strategy I'm doing. Maybe none of you guys care, but that's so I'm basically shorting ETH right now, and I wish I would have shorted it much higher, but I still believe there's more downside on Ethereum. We're nowhere near support, and you're not above support, and you're right below support. Support was 3,200, and you lost that. So really, it's likely now Ethereum goes down to 2647. So with that being said, I do want to get over and go to the Fear and Greed Index. So right now, we're not in extreme greed anymore. We're in fear, or no, we're still in greed, but it's not extreme greed. We're at 74 on that, so that's something to note. We're coming down. But unfortunately for Bitcoin, I don't really believe that the end is near. So the monthly chart's overbought. I really don't think I care about that, because usually the monthly chart only resets on the stock RSI in bear markets. We're not in a bear market yet, and I don't believe the top's in. The weekly chart right now on Ethereum or on Bitcoin is coming to the downside, and I believe there's more downside coming for Bitcoin. The weekly chart is just getting started. We have a new candle closing in 5 days, so really we have a lot more blood based on the weekly. That doesn't mean the daily and 3-day can't get a bounce shorter term, but the weekly needs a correction. The 3-day time frame still has 2 days left in its candle, 2 days exactly, no hours. And that is still overbought on the 3-day, and you're still really far from the moving average. The 200-day moving average just the regular moving average, is all the way down there at 29.8. I don't know if we come all the way down there on the 3-day, because that's a huge time frame, but it's something to note. The 2 days oversold the stock RSI, but you're a long ways from the 200-day moving average, which is at 33.4. Again, I don't think we go that low. And even the daily is possibly about to lose the 21-day moving average. The daily is a time frame I do care about. If you lose the 21-day moving average on the daily, which is at 60,600, it's extremely likely you come down to the 200-day moving average on the daily, which is down there at 41K. Again, 41K seems extreme, but anything's possible. It is crypto. And usually in bull markets, you don't get an 85% correction. That's bear markets. But you usually get about 50% correction from the top to the high, and that would take you right to that low 40, high 30 level on Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin did see 30 to 40,000. I think it's unlikely, but that would be a 50% correction from the highs. So I think it's possible we see the 40K region, possibly high 30s, before we get a bounce to the upside. We'll see what happens. We have very strong support at 47K, and we have very strong support at 42K. So if we saw 30, I'd be really surprised, but it's possible. So I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm just saying it's very possible, and I would just be very careful. So I'm in a short based on the 50-minute time frame. If we get a major bounce, I'll get out of that, obviously. But that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. So that's, yeah, I'm bearish right now. I'm bearish on the macro time frame for the next 1 to 2 months at least. And then after the halving, I would probably, I believe we'll get a bounce then, but we'll have to see what happens then. The 12-hour chart just lost a 21-day moving average on Bitcoin. The 200 is all the way down there at 49.5. Again, I think that price is very likely. I would say 60% plus chance we hit 49,000. We'll see what happens. Again, not trying to scare you all, but I believe we're due for a massive correction. Look how fast we went up. When you go up that fast and come down that fast, it's not good. So even though we're in a bull market, usually we'll see 50% corrections. And again, that take you down to that 40, high 30, low 40 area on Bitcoin. So the 12-hour chart is bearish. Again, you lost the 21. Usually you come down to the 200 in time. It could do some chop before it gets there, but it's likely we see 49, 50K on Bitcoin based on the 12-hour chart. And then the smaller time frames, again, you lost 21 on the 8-hour. The 200's all the way down there at 52.8. The 6-hour, same thing. It's lower. The 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart's about to touch the 200. If you lose 61.3339, we'll call it 61.3. If you lose that level, I would look for the 6-hour to be next. So it's just, I mean, I believe that we're not going to go straight down, but it is probably going to be a sharp downtrend. And the smaller time frames are going to get bounces here and there. The 4-hour chart sub point will probably get a bounce. But I think before the halving, Bitcoin sees at least 50K, maybe even lower than that. We'll see what happens. But super short price action. Bitcoin has to get back above 62,365 to be bullish. If you do, then your next resistance is going to be 63,683, and then above that you have resistance at 65,600. Again, the 4-hour chart is about to lose at 200. That's not a good sign, and that would just be bad. You do have support though on the way down. Let me go back to where we have support. You have a major support right there at basically 53,000. You have a local low right here at about 59,000, but that's not much support. That was just like a wick. And then maybe a little bit of resistance there, or support there at 57.6. So those are the price levels to watch. The downside is 60,500, and then below that 58.9, basically 59K, and then below that 57.7, and then below that you could see a big drop to 53K. We'll see what happens, but again, I'm more bearish than bullish right now, even on the smaller time frames, and on the medium term time frames, 1 to 2 months, I'm more bearish than bullish. But I don't think the bull run's over. If we go down to 30K even, that'd still be a higher low on the weekly time frame, and then you can get a bounce and then see new all-time highs. And if we go that low, that'd be a great place to accumulate DCA, and yeah. So I'm not disappointed that we're dumping. You should be able to make money on the way up and on the way down if you're doing it correctly. If you're trading now, investing, I invest and I trade. So obviously investing, no. But it's a great time to DCA for investments right now when you go down if you haven't gotten everything you want to get. So I'll leave it at that. I am looking for more downside on Bitcoin to the levels I just talked about. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below. I am personally in a short on Ethereum right now. This was a rising wedge. I believe Bitcoin had this as well, but maybe not. And we broke to the downside. So let's see. Did Bitcoin on the smaller time frames today have a rising wedge? Yeah, somewhat. This is that's more of a rising wedge. I wouldn't really say that's a rising wedge. That's kind of pushing it to call it that, but I mean, I wouldn't really say that's a rising wedge, but it did dump. So yeah, Bitcoin didn't have a rising wedge, but Ethereum did, and Ethereum dumped, and yeah. So I entered this short on Ethereum earlier today at whoops, I didn't want to put that there, at the price level of 32.20, and then we got a major bounce back to 33.64, and then so that was a little scary, but yeah, stay in the short. And I really probably shouldn't enter my short when the 1 hour chart, 15-minute chart, 4 hour chart, and all those smaller time frames were oversold, but I kind of did. Maybe I FOMO'd in a little bit, but I'm still in the short, and my trailing stop loss is at 3,500 right now. So we'll see what happens. I believe, I bet if I go to the 7-minute time frame, I'll look at the chat in a second. I bet if I go to the smaller time frames, Ethereum is making a bear flag, and I'll go over to Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin in the 5 minutes. Is Bitcoin making a bear flag? It kind of is, yeah. Bitcoin's making a bear flag. Doesn't look as good as Ethereum. Ethereum looks more bearish to me on the smaller time frames, like the 5 and 7 minute. But that is a bear flag on Ethereum. Usually, if Bitcoin dumps, Ethereum dumps, they don't dump at the same time. When Bitcoin made the new low today, down to 62K before the most recent low, Ethereum didn't make a new low. So they move pretty close to price action together, but they're not perfect. But if they're dumping, they usually dump together. Not the same percent or anything. But that on Ethereum, that bear flag would take you down to 30,000 or 3,000, I should say, exactly. So that's, you know, another $150 dump possible incoming for Ethereum. I don't really see Bitcoin in a bear flag, but it doesn't look good to me either. The small 5 minutes getting overbought, making a lower high. The 7 minute, same thing. So the 10 minute, 15 minute have gas. You could get one more bounce here, and it's likely the 15 does get some kind of bounce before you dump, but it doesn't have to. So we'll see what happens. But that's a bear flag on Ethereum, not so much Bitcoin. Thank you for the follows. What is FRP dip to? I don't know what that is. Thank you for the follows, and yeah, so also thank you for the likes as well. Let me see if we have anyone watching on YouTube. If we do have people watching on YouTube, I will do your request over there for free on YouTube. But if it's on TikTok, I do request a gift because we have more people watching. So if you guys have requests, I will look at it. But that's kind of my rule. If you request it on YouTube because I'm trying to get more viewers over there, I will do it for free. If you do it on TikTok, I just request that you send a gift. So that's what I'm looking at, though. I don't see any requests yet. Thank you for the follow, Creations Unlimited. And I did post a video today on Bohm. And if you want to go check that out, check it out. It's on my YouTube channel. It doesn't look good. Bohm looks pretty bad, actually. Does have falling wedges that could break to the upside. But if the markets are dumping, it's likely that these don't play to the upside. The falling wedges on Bohm. It's a meme coin. It's probably not going to do very well. I'm sure it'll make a new all-time high when everything goes nuts again. Like after Bitcoin has its correction and goes back up to new all-time highs. I'm sure Bohm will as well. But what do I think about Crow? I really don't have any. I don't know. I wouldn't invest in it. It's a good asset, but it's not one I'd invest in. Thank you for the follow. So I don't know. Crow's, it's not going to make you a millionaire. I'll tell you that. We'll see what happens. I'm going to go back to the 4-minute time frame on Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin is making a bear flag. I'm just going to project this right now. If Bitcoin is making a bear flag, we're going to predict it. And if we go to the upside, then I will say on the smaller time frames, I'm wrong. But again, this is part of the reason I'm not trying to, this is part of the reason that I'm not trying to, guess these shorter time frame moves, because it's not easy. It's just pretty hard on these assets. I'd rather I know the macro term, at least for the last few days, has been down, so why don't I just short the market? This on a Bitcoin, if this is a bear flag, that would take you down to 59.4, 59.3. So this really, on the 4-minute, could dump you pretty fast here. I don't know if we're going to see 59K today, but this says it's possible unless we get... So Bitcoin does not get back above 62.4. It's likely we see a dump down to 59, 60,000 tonight. So we'll see what happens, but Ethereum looks bad too. Ethereum looks, in my opinion, that just as bad. I mean, man, I don't know. If you're investing in Ethereum, should you sell it now? This bear flag would take you down to 3,000 basically on Ethereum. So either put a stop loss in, but if you're investing, then hold. If you're trading, then I would take profits or put your stop at break even. But personally, I see this going down to 3,000. That's going to probably be a more psychological level of support, a $3,000 level. But overall, let's go and zoom out and see if 3,000 is support. Yeah, I mean, we kind of, on the way up, we kind of used just around that $3,000 level as resistance. I would say 3,000 is going to be a little bit of support because we were stuck at that $3,000 level for about 4 days before we got above it. 4 days, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 5 days, really. So, to me, we might be at, yeah, that's a good support at 3,000, but, you know, it's possible you don't hold that. So, at 3,000, I would expect a bigger bounce. We'll see what happens. I'm staying in my short. And I'll leave it at that. Thank you for the follow, Justin. Buy the Bitcoin dip. If so, when? I can't tell you what to do, man. I just gave you all my TA on Bitcoin. Just DCA. What I do is DCA. I don't really check the... I mean, I check the charts of the stuff I invest in for sure. But, like, I don't look at it every day. And I just DCA every single week into the assets I like. I don't really care what they do. If they pump, I buy. If they dump, I buy. And then when I have enough of it, I'll stop buying. You know, if the assets I like get above a certain price, then I'll probably stop buying because they're too expensive. But dollar cost average is what that means. Let me just see if anyone's... Yeah, so anyways, dollar cost average. Bitcoin's about to lose $62,000. Let's see if we get this dump here on Bitcoin. We do technically... I think we have support $60,550. Let me go back to the 8-hour chart on Bitcoin and let's just see, do we really have support at this 60,000? 62.3 is, yeah, resistance, but yeah, you know, we're below that. I don't really think, and even at that $60,600 level, we don't have much support. You did get a bounce off of it on the 8-hour chart. It's not going to be much resistance or support, in my opinion. Like, to me, because I don't believe that's going to be very strong support, I'll just make that line really thin. You know, it is, you know, we did get one wick off of it on the 8-hour chart, but you were there for, you know, not even a day. It's likely it might hold super short term, but I don't think that 60K level is going to hold you very long. It is a psychological level of support, I guess. Keep an eye on AMP on Ethereum blockchain, pumped from 5 cents, found support. Thank you for the follow, Andrea. So if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below. If you guys want to request it on YouTube, it is free. If you guys want to do it on TikTok, I just request a GIF. That's just kind of my rules. But anyways, otherwise, I'll be back live Saturday, 7 p.m. Central Time. I just want to give you a rundown of the market. Now Ethereum is trying to get back above 3,200. We'll see what happens. 15-minute chart is ready to pump to the upside. And we'll see what happens. I'm staying in my short. I could probably easily get out now, take a little bit of profits, and re-enter this short at a better entry, but I'm going to just stay in my short. I've been in it all day. I'm not trying to do the 1-minute chart day trades. I believe Ethereum is going to go much lower. And even on Ethereum, if I go back to the daily chart, maybe I chart it on this time frame, the 618 on Ethereum is like at 2,500. So like Ethereum going to 2,500 is completely possible. It could go lower than that. The 7.6 fib is down there at 2,100 about, maybe, you know. So if Bitcoin goes anywhere between 2,100 and 2,500, I wouldn't be surprised. If we go below that, I'd be a little surprised. But, I mean, I think all those levels are possible on Ethereum, so I'm going to stay my short longer term. It's a longer term trade idea for sure. Like, it could be a few days, it could be a few weeks I'm in this trade, depending on how bearish we get. So I'll stay in this short right now. Where do I think Ethereum will peak in the bull run once we get the correction and after the halving? 10 grand or more. 10, 20 grand. It's a big range, I know. But the last bull run, it got to like 4,000 or 5,000. So I don't think it's out of the question to at least get to 10,000. I think that might be conservative. But I also don't want to give you a crazy prediction. So I would bet that's a big range, I know. 10 to 20,000. 10 to, you know, that's probably my range, I would say. It's a big range, but minimum 10,000, I would say. It could go above 20, but at some, I don't think it's going to go much above 20 if it does, because, you know, I just don't. I'm also not thinking Bitcoin's going to go to 300,000. Like, Bitcoin could go 100, 150 is my target for Bitcoin. If it goes above that, I'd be pretty happy, but, I mean, if we go above 150,000, that's going to be like a parabolic run, and then it's going to dump just as fast as it is now. So, I mean, I guess the faster we go up, the faster we come down. That's just going to be a better short on the way down. So I don't really care what level we go to on Bitcoin. That's just kind of my guess right now on Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin did get back above that key level of resistance at 62,003, 62.4. Now can you get to 63.8? We'll see. You know, I still like the 1 hour chart for Bitcoin is still overbought. The 33 is getting the bounce, you know. So that, but you put a lower low in, I should say, for Bitcoin and for Ethereum. So again, you're still in a downtrend, and it's pretty simple in my opinion. Halving is in like a month, so anyways. With that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Pretty quick update on the markets. And thank you for the new member. I don't know. I just missed that. But when I started the stream, we had 2. Now it says we have 3 hearts. So thank you for whoever that was. I just noticed that, by the way. I appreciate whoever that was. Maybe it's Deal Finder. Thank you if that was... Yeah, I think it was. So thank you for that. Appreciate you, Deal Finder. I don't know if you're still here. Thoughts on Solana? I think Solana's going to do great long term. Short term, I see $150 possible incoming if everything keeps dumping like the markets. Thank you for the follow, DeWitt. With that being said, I'm going to just probably wrap things up. I'll be back live Saturday, 7 p.m. Central Time. If things get crazy, I'll go back live before then. But again, I'm short on the market right now. We'll see what happens, and I'll leave it at that. Have a great week, y'all. I'll see you guys in about, what is today? Tuesday? Yes. I'll see you guys in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 days from now, 7 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. Until then, trade safe. Have a great week. And I believe we'll be lower on Saturday than where we are now. And if not, then I guess I'll probably lose a straight on Ethereum, on the Ethereum short. But, yeah. Thank you for the roses, Jay. Wow, a dozen roses. I'll have to give them to my girlfriend. They smell so good. Thank you for that. So, do you have a request, Jay? And I can do it real quick. But otherwise, that's kind of all I got. So just end this really quick.